Sally Forth Paladins, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Captain Turek of the carrier HMS Gallant, the first carrier that I think we've actually played as for the Hydran Star Kingdom, as we continue the war of revenge against the Klingon Empire. Yes, as I was saying, the HMS Gallant is our first real foray into the carrier side of the Hydran Star Kingdom. Most Hydran ships have some form of a fighter on board, as we saw with both our Lord Bishop and Lord Commander class heavy cruisers, not battle cruisers. But this will be the first time when we really start bringing the fighters to the fight, although we did notice it is a little bit of a weird setup with this squadron has 3, this squadron has 2. So not really the full-on 8 fighters that we're kind of more used to seeing off of a heavy cruiser carrier anyway. We're not going to be in this very long. We're at 3,247 prestige. We're really looking at a Paladin class dreadnought, which is 36, 37-ish. So we're only going to be in this for a little while we stock up some cash after we rammed right into a Klingon dreadnought. So let's put back out into space, see if we can't earn a little bit more prestige for managing to kick some butt, and then going home with no one the wiser. So there are Klingon ships. We will hit that red alert, increase that speed. We are a light cruiser. Never mind. I thought we were a heavy cruiser because we were in a heavy cruiser before, but this is clearly a light cruiser with a maximum speed of only 18 and 0.5 maneuverability cost. Wow, we're really small. We are escorted today by HMS Testament and the Poacher again, except this is a much upgunned Poacher. Are we going at the right speed? Yes, we are. So taking a look at our sexy brand new ship, and I gotta be honest, the Hydran light cruisers for some reason really do kind of look pretty cool. I'm a fan. We are facing off against a D6DB and a OLRR, so we need to focus on this one. I believe this is the drone cruiser, so problems to be had, especially considering that we only have a few phasers. This could be harder than I thought. We may need to quickly buy into a larger, more powerful ship than I thought it would, which may put off us getting into a dreadnought for a little while. Although, you know, you never know. We might be able to pull off some kind of miracle. I'm always in favor of attempting the impossible. Not really, but I'm going to say that. So let's send a probe over to this heavy cruiser, see if we can't figure out what he's into. And yeah, we were on the radio, the right volume. I don't know if you can see those notifications. I really should check, but yeah, she's definitely a heavy cruiser, but she does not have a point defense system. Oh, the fool, sir! He's a D6 with no point defense system. He's got 7 phaser 2s. That's an interesting problem. And our classic cruising speed is 18. Oh, I'm loving it. Let's increase the defense systems to all 360 degrees. Let's put out the fighters right now so that they'll be charged and ready to rock. What did we actually pick for fighters? Doesn't say. Patrol fighters. Hornets or Wasps or Yellow Jackets, one of those. So we're going to sort of swirl in, come in sort of towards his stern. If he's turning towards us, that's absolutely fine. And turn in and attack. Let's go for the full attack. Everybody, get on in there. And he's doing a speed of 23. Whoa! That was glorious. They melted him. They just spat out hellbores right on into him and just completely wiped out everything that he ever had. I really like these fighters. Oh my god, hellbores. Everybody get home. It's time to come back. You need to restock those hellbore cannons. Oh boy, I think we can take it from here. That was glorious. I am constantly astonished by the sheer firepower of fighters, partly because the only time we ever fight against fighters, it's the weakest possible fighter. So we're going to have our point defense system eat up that, and then we're going to fly on top of you and fire all these weapons. Our phaser armament, as you can see, very weak. Yep, phaser 2s only, it would seem. Yeah, two phaser 2s, a single phaser 1, and 2 G-type phasers. Let's see what the arcs are on that. Okay, so these 2 phaser 2s are like, they're practically disruptor mounts. I bet that's normally where they would put the fusion beams or hellbore cannons if they were on this ship. So we have managed to take care of our enemy, and our fighter squadrons are in the process of being rearmed and repaired. Almost done, too, so By the time we make it to the OLRR, we should have a pretty significant punch ready to go. So let's push up to full power. It looks like we can only do about 29.7, maybe 30, but we cannot do the full maximum speed of 31. 'Tis impossible. Even if we were to shut off the shields, we could probably pull it off, because shields take up, I believe, 4 points of power. So it looks like this OLRR is equipped with a single missile launcher, a single fusion cannon, and then 3 phasers, which is a very not specifically this setup, but the triple phaser mount is really common on these sorts of Orion frigates. Very popular. I like them too, because the triple phaser mount is really cool. And more often than not, lately we've been seeing only double mounts. But triple and quad mounts, oh, they're fun. Glorious little destructive, evil-looking nebula / star. Perhaps it's a star becoming, star becoming itself inside the nebula, finally reaching that critical mass where it just ignites. It's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. The quality of life mods. He does have a point defense system, and we actually do not have such a fantastic method of dealing with them. We don't bring enough fighters really to swamp his point defense system. So we're going to drop down in speed, get to our cruising combat speed, which, we're only cruising combat for the sake of a phaser capacitor. But let's curl on in, set up nice and tight, and admit it, the fighters using the Hellbores to wipe that out was pretty darn badass. Because we came in, we opened it up, and then boom, the Hellbore from the fighter just tore it apart. 226 prestige, not bad. The tile is ours. I don't know if we neutralized it or not. I was not paying that close attention. Let's push up into more Klingon territory. Just little nibbles. Little nibbles while we work on trying to recapture territory. Surprise reverse. Perfect for fighters. Absolutely perfect for fighters. I'm thinking that the Hellbore armed fighter is probably better than the fusion cannon armed fighter, purely because from a ranged standpoint. So follow this logic with me, if you will. The AI does not know how to use fusion cannons at all. We have seen time and time again they will waste fusion cannons on shots which are basically pointless. So if we were to take a fighter which had fusion cannons, it would fire it at maximum fighter range, which would basically deal no damage. We take the Hellbore, which takes almost that same shot, and it'll still do a decent amount of damage, as we've seen. I mean, it completely rips things apart. Our fusion cannon fighters didn't really seem to be that effective, but the Hellbore ones, they just tore to pieces. So I'm thinking that using the Hellbore armed fighters will probably net us better results than trying to sort of force the fusion cannons to do the dirty work. So that's my logic on this. So we're probably going to try and keep to the Hellbore fighters. I do need to look up the fighter mounts for the Hydrons. It is such an important aspect of their entire race. I mean, the fact that they invented fighter shuttles and they use them so much means that, well, I believe in the books it says, I'm talking about the Big Book of Armaments, it has a tactics section, and in the books it mentions that if you take out all the fighters, the BPV of a Hydron vessel can almost be considered to be a step or two lower in terms of firepower. So they rank it between like very poor, poor, good, fair, or fair, good, very good, excellent. And they say if you're, depending on the tier that we have listed for the general class thing here, if the Hydron ship is out of fighters, drop it down a tier. So, and I can believe it. So learning what Hydron fighters do what is going to be kind of important. So let's dump the fighters over there. Actually, no, I'm going to order you over here. So go kill him. Destroy target. Destroy the target. And we will go after this guy and hit him with everything we got. Guys, I want you to kill that target. I got him. I thought I said I had him. Are you not listening? I'll grant you the picklock is probably one of the biggest things they have out here, but I wanted you to go for the burglar. That was my plan. Well, they are going for the burglar. They're using the phasers. Try and rip things apart. Holy crap, you get back here. Oh god, we lost an entire fighter squadron. That's not good. Slow down a little bit more so that we got all fighters on this pass here. And there we go. We got one of them. So the burglar is currently very much in pain. But I'm also very much in pain because we lost our 3-ship fighter squadron. That's a pretty big deal for a Hydran ship. We were just talking about how weak we become without fighters. And now suddenly one of our fighter squadrons is gone. And we do not have any weapons to fire at this moment, as we stick on top of them. Unfortunately, their point defense systems do still work. Okay, you're dead. I'm going to call the fighters back. They need repair. What do we got to target still? It's just 3 frigates. So an LR+1, LR+1, LR2F. You're a twin missile. You are a twin missile. Oh, but you're a disruptor type. You're a phaser type. Yeah, I should target this one. This will be more dangerous. See how much damage we can do with just our little tiny phasers. I don't think it's going to be very much, quite frankly. Let's reinforce the shield to full power. Thank you. Hopefully we can take some of the damage we're about to take from him blowing up. He didn't blow up. Okay, not good. Not going well. Fighter squadron is ready to launch, so let's get you out on the attack. You're going to kill him. We're going to go back after him. They immediately launched their Hellbore cannons and did 6 damage. And another little bit of damage. 12 more damage. Now kill him with the phasers. Just rip him apart. It's not going quite as well as I was hoping. Slow down speed. Select the red alert so all weapons are selected. You can do it! I believe in you! Still believing in you. So we'll come in. Hopefully this will take him out. He has no more armor, so this is all systems damage. There we go. A nice big crunch. We managed to cause enough damage to overload his defensive systems. Come on, you can kill the burglar. He's got no systems left. Just 1 or so. There you go. And get on over here. Help me out with this. No, kill the target. Don't harass the target. Yes, thank you. It's almost never a good idea to harass targets, it seems. That's entirely untrue. Harassing targets that have a point defense system is a great idea. However, on missions like these, especially against ships like these, which don't particularly have great weapons, well, we can get away with the attack. Although, we probably wouldn't have lost all our fighters had we ordered them to harass and not to try and attack. And we did kind of bring the ship that is best suited to doing that sort of long-range harass work. Oh crap, get inside. Yeah, that didn't work. We lost all of our fighters on that mission. Oh, that was not quite as good as I was hoping. Like, we did well, but we now have to replace a whole bunch of fighters. Pop back here to the shipyard. We're at C3773. How are we doing? Any cool ships that have managed to come up? 38888. We could do it. We could totally do it. I'm sure of it. Let's double check a supply. So 216 is the cheap purchase, and I need about 198 is the cheap purchase. And supply, I can sell this for 710. Okay, we're going to try it. We're going to try it again, folks. Remember the last time we tried this? Buy you, supply, trade in the big ship, go to the shipyard, scroll down, buy the Paladin. Ha 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 ha! HMS Fearless. Oh god, that name. So, I mentioned briefly in previous seasons about a book series called collectively known as the Honorverse. It's by David Weber. It features a character called Honor Harrington, and one of her first ships is HMS Fearless. So the fact that we got Fearless right off the bat makes me so very, very happy. So HMS Fearless, it is a Paladin Plus, so it is a refit. So let's just quickly go into here so that we can admire our awesomeness that will be our vessel. So Templar, Paladin, Paladin Plus! 4 fusion cannons, 4 Hellbores, 8 phaser 1s, 2 phaser Gs, a total engine power of 58, 4 points in the battery, 5 transporters for trying to steal people, 4 tractor beams, 3 shuttles, 8 fighters. This is a combat dreadnought, not a carrier, but it still brings 8 fighters to the fight. This is going to be glorious. So we do not need repairs. We're fully stocked on shuttles. Let's go into, what was it, Yellow Jackets or Hornets? I'm going to guess Hornets. Yeah, we're going to bring a Hornets to the fight. F-18s, y'all. And we're also going to increase the number of spare parts because now we can take damage and still keep on going. Let's go to the map, but let's push out into space. Let's try and make some elbow room here. Accept the patrol and get ready for combat. It's a dreadnought. It's a refitted dreadnought too. Red alert! Increased speed. We're not going to be that fast, are we? It's not going to be horrible. Get the shields up, please. Thank you. Okay. We do a speed of 14. Not bad, all things considered. I mean, this is pretty good speed for a dreadnought. An early dreadnought. Okay, it's not super early. This is, after all, the refitted version of the Paladin, which mostly gives us better rear shields. So right now, you're kind of seeing we're a little bit bigger than a battlecruiser in terms of defenses, but it's a dreadnought, and a dreadnought is a dreadnought. Who are we facing today? It's a heavy cruiser. You almost look like a D6, are you? You are a D6U. Is that the Commando? Or the... It's not the Diplomatic, because the Diplomatics are Ks. I think the U's are Commandos. So if that's the case, let's try and keep our shields up so that we don't die. And also, let's go through and quickly tag our 4 fusion cannons. Set them up to the primary arc. No, not that one. That one. The Hellbores we want on the primary arc. The fusions we want on tertiary. The phasers we want here on secondary. So 1 Hellbore, 2 phasers, 3 fusion beams, nothing for 4. So select the red alert. Prepare for combat. Let's go over... Do you have anything to see? You do. You have a dilithium crystal. Dilithium crystals are valuable during war. And we shall take it. For we are the right and winning side, and you are Romulans. They are firing at maximum range. Hits apparently the carrier. I could have sworn the U was the... Or maybe the U was the strike carrier version. So stand by. Let's get ready to fight. And you know what? I'm going to send my fighters after you. I'm going to see what damage I can do with them. This is probably a horrible idea. You. Target you. And you. Hi. We're going to get to know each other really, really well. And we're going to start with Hellbore cannons. Wait to close a little bit closer. Estimated damage of 53. Engage now. Ooh, 4 of them hit. And it looks like half of our fighters have been annihilated. Yeah, we managed to do a pretty good job there. Not going to lie. Hornet Squadron, return to me. Oh, so we should have just been sending our fighters to skirmish. That's where they'll do the best good. Sending a fighter squadron in is a good way to get killed. So we don't want the fighters to ever get in close, especially not these. Hornets are obviously designed to do long-range BVR combat, which is a little weird when you think about it. So in real life, the F-18 Hornet, which is a staple right now of the United States Navy, is very, very good at a close-in knife fight. She is extremely maneuverable. What it is, it has it's able to pull what's called high alpha, or high angle of attack. So the direction that the aircraft is flying is not necessarily the direction that the nose is pointing. And the Hornet can do, I think, up to 55 degrees of that. At least the Super Hornet can. There we go, a nice combo. So the idea that our Hornet fighters are much better at super long-range combat rather than knife fighting is kind of amusing. So our triple-engined gigantic dreadnought, we earned just over 300 prestige, which should allow us to quickly hop back here and, hi, supply. Yeah, we need another fighter group. It's going to cost us 80 points to do, but it's well worth it. Yeah, HMS Fearless. Let's push out in Klingon territory, see if we can knock it back just a little bit. A convoy raid, which is good for fighters. Fighters do excellently on convoy raids. And we're a Paladin-class dreadnought, so we should be able to knock aside defenders. Let's hit that red alert. We are escorted today by none other than the USS Richards, which is a little tiny tender. So it's clear that the Richards was here for logistical support for us, so that we could tank up and do stuff. Something like that. Oh, we are also supported by HMS Dependable, another dreadnought. What type of dreadnought are you? You are a You are a basic paladin. As you can see, the older paladin is not so great. I mean, it has a light green rear shield. That is kind of shocking. But HMS Dependable does look like she's about to get stuck into it. She's only got to fight an F5 TB, so shouldn't be that much of a problem. Meanwhile, we're going to be able to jump on all of these freighters to kill them. Her acceleration is pretty terrible. We're still accelerating up to a speed of 14. And we are going to continue to increase that speed because we need to catch up to this convoy. We must continue without delay. We can maintain a 24, 23-ish speed with, wrong button. This button. That's the button. With all systems charged. So not bad. And we can keep watch on HMS Dependable. Watch him going around trying to annihilate this little tiny ship. Dependable seems to have not lost anything, so just kind of getting into the battle and utterly annihilating things, which you would expect. He is a dreadnought, and that's a frigate. So yeah, if the dreadnought couldn't handle this, that would be pretty pathetic. It looks like the frigate is doing the right thing, though, going after the fighters. Unfortunately, I don't think he can actually maintain a high enough speed to continue to go after the fighters, as the fighters are going about a speed of 25, and he's limited to 18.7. And Dependable is just constantly harrying him, although firing fusion cannons at that kind of range is more than a little stupid. Not gonna lie. We are still well out of range. We are definitely the reinforcing position, which starts us out at like over a range of 100 from the target. We would have much preferred to have been in Dependable's position and just annihilated everything. But as it is, this is very much a long stern chase. And the Richards hopefully will avoid combat and not get too involved in things. Lashing out at too far of range for the phasers to be truly effective. Don't drop your shields, there's no reason to take that kind of damage. The AI Dreadnought not quite understanding how big he is and how to avoid those mines, which I suppose somewhat can be forgiven, but it is still kind of, well, dumb. He's managed to drop the speed on this freighter, so we are a range of 35-ish from the target. So let's switch back to our own view as we get involved. And I'm going... Ooh, no, you have point defense systems. I don't want to fight you. Or at least I don't want to send my fighters to fight you. I'll fight you quite happily. But the fighters, not so much. So this F5TB is, I guess, trying to skirmish with us? He's slowed down. Oh, wow, you were really outgunned. I didn't pay attention to this, but he's only got 5 phaser 2s. On top of him. He's dead. Let's send the fighters out now. Fighter jocks. Attack. That one. Him, he's got a point defense system. Him, he does not have a point defense system, but he is dead. He also does not have a point defense system, so you can go after that one. Meanwhile, we will plow the road. And yes, I'm quite literally going to fly right into these mines. That is, in fact, the plan. So let us reinforce these forward shields. Drop down to our charging speed. I'm prepared to bounce it. Bounce. And this one too. Let's clear out the road. Fighters engaging at maximum range. I'm not super huge fan of that. I want you to get a little bit closer. You are only fighters after all. Looks like the Free Trader, one of their Q-ship escort slash pirate bribes, is currently in a little bit of trouble. We're going to go after the FT4. No idea what your name is, but we might find out before you die. Maybe. Hellbore cannons are still charging, so let's give the fighters some help. 1, missed. 2, it did hit. Good job. Whew. Nice shot, Paladin. Looks like the Dependable managed to take that shot. So on to the very last of the enemy. Now let's call the fighters. Which fighter group are you? You're an allied fighter group. Also an allied fighter group. So let's call back you. So that we can get you guys back home. And we should increase speed so we can catch him. We're only closing at a speed of 4. So not doing an excellent job of catching up. Okay, we got the fighters back on board. Sprinting to get right to him. The Praxis transport. And that's the end of him. And return to me. So we sent 2 dreadnoughts on a convoy raid mission. A little bit of an overkill thing, but hey, we'll take it. 174 prestige because it was a little bit overkill. And neutralize the tile. But that's going to wrap it up for an episode right there. We have finally gotten into a big, nasty old dreadnought. It's the big dreadnought that we wanted. We finally also managed to pull off that trick of buying a tiny ship, selling a bigger ship, and then buying the huge ship we wanted. I think that's the first time we've actually managed to pull that off, because every other time either something's glitched out or things have gone wrong. So got to be feeling good about that. So we're now in a Paladin plus refit. The HMS Fearless. I am definitely looking forward to continuing this campaign as we nibble away at the corners of the Klingon Empire. But anyway, I have been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.